Hey guys, welcome back to another thought process video. And today I am versing a Wesker and had a pretty decent chase at the beginning and wanted to share it with you guys. So, with that being said, let's jump right in. So, we're in on Wretched Shop. You can see there's a fun bus up ahead of me. It looks like I didn't have my mic muted, so you might hear me make some comments here and there. But so already getting the terror radius. We see that it's a Wesker. So one thing to keep in mind with Wesker, well, that's one thing to keep in mind. So when Wesker lunges, if you're running toward a window and you don't feel like you have time to make the window, you can dodge it and hope that he just vaults through it like that. But one of the things I'll be talking about is the timing for knowing when he can hit you with his lunge. Because he has his strengths and his limitations. So there I was just kind of looking around to see what else I had to work with. I felt like I had some distance on him. I still hear the terror radius. I know the general area that he's in. Alright, so this is a good example right here. I kind of want to break this down a little bit. So, at one point I hear him charge his power. So right there, you hear him charge his power. And he probably could have hit me there, but obviously he didn't, so he hits the tire instead. And now, when he has his power charged up like that, he can move, but he's very, very slow. And so, based on the shape of this tile here, I felt like in order for him to be able to hit me, he would have to come well around the tire, and I had plenty of time to get back to the pallet before he had a straight line of sight to be able to hit me there. So I just continue forward, and he actually doubles back. And another thing to keep in mind is that he can only hold his charge for a certain amount of time. So once he has his power charged, I don't know exactly how long it is. So there I was checking for Lightborn. That's a tree. And now we're back into Shack. And like I always say, the big part of looping is just keeping track of what the killer's doing. So then I find this pallet over here. I know he's still kind of in the area looking for me. And now I see that he's on the Atom. So I was debating whether or not I wanted to actually go trail the chase and try to get him back on me, since I had been doing a pretty good job of wasting his time, and then I figured I'll just get on a gen. Now that looked like kind of a weird down, because let me just back it up really quick. Yeah, so he hasn't been infected yet, and yet when he goes down, it's really, really quick, and then he's infected. So I'm not actually sure what happened there. Because I would think that if he had gotten grabbed, he would have gotten like slammed against something. But I know some of those things could be a little wonky with Wesker sometimes. But as you can see, we're doing fairly well on the gens. We've already popped 3 just between my chase and Adams. And now I start to hear the tear radius again. I actually don't mind popping that skill check because it lets him know that I'm here. And I kind of want him back on me. There I'm just using those windows to see exactly what he's doing, see which way he's going to go from. That was a little risky because I wasn't even looking behind me. I just felt like I had enough distance. So there you see I try the same Wesker tech, but I think what happened was I got caught up on that tire right there and I wasn't able to move far enough away from the window. And so my hitbox still registered as a grab. So I just immediately vault because I know his power has a cooldown, so he's not going to be able to hit me right away. There, I'm just waiting to confirm that I see the red stain around the corner. You did a really good job of respecting that pallet. So there again, I'm just trying to stay away from his direct line of sight, so that when he lunges, he doesn't hit me. And let me just watch this timing again really quick. Yeah, so he's charging his power as I'm arriving at the corner here. So even though I'm definitely in his direct line of sight right there, I know there's a very slight delay before he can actually lunge after he's charged his power. So I'm able to get around there. Now, if he had lunged just slightly farther, he could have just like whipped his camera and immediately lunged again and hit me. But because he's so slow, when he has his power charged, it takes him a second to get around that corner, which then allows me to get around the corner again and take the vault. And because his lunge takes him so far, it gives me a lot of distance on him. And here, because we're at 2 gens, and felt like it was okay to go ahead and drop Shack Pallet. And then I used Plot Twist. And unfortunately, he's back on the Atom now. So, something I was going to mention about Plot Twist. I don't know if any of you have been using it and you have a survivor run over and try to be helpful, but one thing you can do is right as they get you 99'd, press your sprint button, the button you use to run, and that keeps them from being able to heal you. So as long as they don't actually pick you up off the ground, you can still use Plot Twist to stand up fully healed. And so you can let them heal you up until you're 99'd, and then just press your sprint button to keep them from actually picking you up off the ground. I run into that a lot, where my solo queue teammates are trying to be helpful, you know, by healing me, but it would take way more time for them to completely heal me if they picked me up off the ground and then did a full heal. So we see that Fang is a little over 50% on the gen. Adam's almost dead. And there, Renato's in chase, but then he immediately drops it and comes back for me. I have a really good tile here. And there, I'm trying to blind him even though I'm holding a can in my hand. I had forgotten that I still was holding that. Also, one thing I was going to mention about using the spray against Wesker is that when you use the spray on him, it notifies him through Killer Instinct. So it doesn't show him your aura, but it gives him a visual cue that tells him where you are. So I always recommend getting healed before you use the spray, if it's possible, because otherwise he might be able to find you fairly quickly and you'd still be injured. So that's why you saw me use my plot twist earlier while I was still infected, and then I used the spray on myself. So we get Adam healed up, and I'm walking to preserve my background player. Not sure what Adam's doing here. Oh, he threw a pebble. Now, I don't know if that would have been the best use of that pebble, because there isn't really anything over in that corner for the killer to be drawn to, and if anything, it would bring him close to the gen that I was working on. So, I don't know if he was kind of trolling or what his thought process there was, but so he probably thought I was going to go for the pallet and just preemptively lunge toward it.
Just accept your fate.
I get hit as I drop the pallet, which is unfortunate, because it's just a waste of the pallet at that point. There you see we got the last gen popped, which activates my plot twist again, but I also saw for a second that the Atom was getting chased, and I wanted to make sure that, or not make sure, but I wanted to be there to get a save if possible. And there you see me walking again, because I'm expecting the killer to pick, and I want to save my my background player. So not sure where the killer is at this point. Well, now you hear the terror radius. So he may have just been camping the Renato, who looks like had Unbreakable. So those two got chased out. I popped my plot twist, and I'm looking around for the aura of Renato, but the reason I didn't see him there was because he was actually not behind anything, so I couldn't see his aura. So here I'm just making sure that he gets out safely, and then I head over to main building to get Hatch, because I had played a Hatch at main offering. And there you have it. So we'll just take a look at the killer's perks really quick, because this is one of those games where I didn't really identify any of his perks, and here you can see why. It's because he had 2 aura reading perks, which are usually hard to identify, and superior anatomy, which I don't know if I ever saw him vault a window super fast, other than using his power. I think pretty much every time he vaulted a window, it was using his regular lunge. So then Bitter Murmur and Discordance. So I guess it was more like 3 aura reading perks, and then Superior Anatomy. So yeah, that will wrap that up for that video. Thank you for watching, and feel free to leave any comments or questions down below. And also, if you haven't checked out my tutorials on looping and strategy yet, please do so. I have a playlist with a few tutorials in there, and still thinking about what I want to do next. But that's it for now. Now go be a menace.